Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen. Channel that brings you your team every day. The channel that brings you all the updates on Glasgow Rangers. If you need your daily Rangers fix, if you need to keep on top of everything that's happening with your team, then hit that sub, ring that notification bell. And if you like the video, guys, smash that like. It does help out. Okay, this is just a quick update. Was heading out to work and was there quickly scrolling the internet, scrolling through the different news sources, scrolling Twitter, checking out all the latest information, and came across a couple of interesting articles. One from a source of Heart and Hand. We know when Heart and Hand reports something, it's fairly accurate because of the fact that they obviously have links with the club, and also some comments made by Johnny McFarlane this morning on the Rangers review, which was very, very interesting indeed. The first comment, the first thing was he was from Heart and Hand. Now, a lot of people obviously have been frustrated by the way the Civil Dessers deal has seemingly trundled along up to this point. But I suppose the 1st of July was always kind of going to be a key date in this transfer window. The 1st of July is when all these pre-contracts will kick in and players actually officially make that move, when existing contracts come to an end, etc., etc. Now, the Civil Dessers deal that has been on off in terms of negotiations, in terms of the fact that Rangers haven't been able to meet the fee, the Cremonese one, which is reported between 5.5 and 6.5 million. Also, the fact that Rangers allegedly tried a loan to buy. Now, Cremonese director has had his say on this matter and said that the negotiations are ongoing, and he is confident that there will be a deal between Cremonese and Rangers. It's just a matter of agreeing the price. Obviously, Rangers apparently a bit off on their deal. Now, a lot of people think that if the Dessers deal wasn't going to go ahead, it was going to be Danilo. Now, according to Heart and Hand this morning and their update, Heart and Hand said that Rangers, it's not Danilo or Dessers, it's Danilo and Dessers. That Rangers aim to bring in both the strikers as they really aim to kind of bolster that front line with the acquisition, obviously, of Lammers already in place, Sima joining from Brighton on loan. A bit more on him shortly. And Danilo and Dessers also. Now, planning negotiations are ongoing over Danilo as well. Rangers bid initial 3.5 million for Danilo. Rumours in the Netherlands are stating that Feyenoord want between 7 and 8 million for Danilo. However, there is room for manoeuvre, and as with any negotiation, you go in with offer your price. You have your price on players as we have our price on our players. People came in and bid for Raskin or Cantwell or Tav or Goldson, and Yanis Hadji. We'd have our price on them, and we would very loath to move from it, but there would be, I guess, negotiation room. And apparently there is negotiation room with Danilo. Thoughts that up to 5.5, 6 million could secure his services. But it certainly seems on the old Danilo Dessers debate, it seems that Rangers actually want both players and not just one of them. So it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that. Personally, the more firepower we get, the better. The more options you have, the better, especially given it going into the end of last season. We obviously had no strikers fit and really were struggling playing Rabbi Matondo and Fashion Sakala up front. There were a few rumours this morning about Matondo, but I think they were very much sort of pie in the sky rumours about the fact that Rangers would listen to offers for him. I think it will be exceptionally hard, though, to shift Matondo given the lack of playing time last season. So Danilo and Dessers, it looks like it could well be both, not just one. On the Benny Traore link, now Benny Traore is another player who has been linked, who's had an exceptionally successful time in Sweden. Benny Traore is thought to going to be very expensive if you want to secure him, somewhere in the region of 6.5 million. Rangers and Celtic apparently are both interested in signing the player. Both teams want him, but according to Johnny McFarlane this morning on Rangers Review, whilst Traore is on Rangers' target list, he is way down that list behind the likes of Danilo and Dessers. So it looks like if Rangers were truly going to go after Traore, it would be that one of those two deals for Danilo or Dessers would have to collapse. Now, obviously, the worry about that is with the Dessers deal dragging on, with the Danilo deal unable to obviously reach a common agreement on price, Traore could, of course, be snapped up by that lot across the city. And it would be kind of painful, I suppose, if they signed him and he went on to have great success wearing their horrible jersey. So it's all up in the air in terms of that. But it's interesting, isn't it, that the Rangers, it's not just one of these two guys that Rangers want, it's both of them, which I suppose is encouraging from the aspect that Rangers obviously want to have the strongest possible forward line. Now, yesterday I brought you the video about Abdallah Sima joining. It looks like that loan move will now be confirmed towards the end of this week. Although apparently, according to a number of press sources, there is no loan to buy agreement in the case of Sima. It is a pure loan deal. Brighton not prepared to commit to any price or any cut price deal at this stage. Yes, he will be entering the end of his contract when he leaves Rangers after this year's loan. I know that's not the ideal. We don't really want to be developing other people's players, but I suppose, you know, if he gets 15 to 20 goals this season, creates a whole load more and helps us win the league, we won't be complaining. Obviously, then the question will be what Brighton would want for him if we want to keep him, given the fact they paid $7 million for him. But on the other side of that, he will be entering the last year of his deal. Whilst obviously I can see people being upset about that, I think at times, you know, when you are going through this massive rebuild, when you haven't got a bottomless pit of money, sometimes you've got to take these loans and use other people's players. Yes, it means developing them and putting them in the shop window and helping them to sell. But on the other hand, you've got to look at the short-term benefits of what you get by having that player for this year. And I think that Sima will bring great benefits to Rangers. Well, guys, just a little update for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll be back to speak to you, obviously, in the morning, obviously with the news video, and also remember our live stream tomorrow morning, the fixture release show. Come and join me for that. Always remember, we are the people.